what's up everyone? GameDad here, coming at you guys with a brand new collection series. This time we are taking a look at everything that I currently have in my Nintendo Famicom collection. So, come with me as we check out the games on the list for part 1 today. First up, we have Blue Marine, released by Victor Musical Industries in 1988. And as will be the case with most games in this series, I will be guessing as to what is going on because I don't read Japanese, I don't know Japanese. I mean, I can probably say hello and that's about it. But this game, I believe, is a fishing game, from what I gather, sort of like a strategy fishing game. Looks cool. Up next is Choplifter, released by Jaleco in 1986, and this is just like really every other version of Choplifter. You fly around, you shoot the baddies, and you rescue the soldiers, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, it looks really bright and vibrant. I really like the animations on this version, and yeah, I mean, overall, it's a Choplifter game. Up next, we have Jinsei Gekijo, released by Taito in 1989, and from what I can tell, this is kind of like a game show sort of game, but again, I don't speak Japanese, so kind of hard to tell what is going on, but overall, it looks pretty primitive for what it is, and the later games in the series actually get a lot better graphically. And here we have Jinsei Gekijo 2, released by Taito in 1991, and this game, as you can see, looks way better than the first one. Graphically, it's much more impressive. The overall game board in the game looks a lot better. I still have not a stinking clue what is going on in it, but it looks way nicer. And here is Jinsei Gekijo 3, released by Taito, also in 1991, just later in the year. And again, the graphics got an improvement. They upgraded the quote-unquote effects that were going on. The menus are a little more simplistic. I don't really like the green background that's on it. But overall, same kind of gameplay. Still don't know what's going on in it, but at least I consistently don't know what's going on in any of them. Up next is Dr. Mario, released by Nintendo in 1990. Here's one I actually know what's going on. Anyone that's ever played an NES has likely played Dr. Mario. Super fun game, very Tetris style, but you match the colors with the viruses on the screen, and it lets you take out all the baddies. Once you've done it, you move on to the next level. Here we have Dragon Ball 3 Gokuuden, released by Bandai in 1989, and this one, along with all or most all of the other Dragon Ball games in this video, it's kind of hard for me to tell what's going on. It looks like it's a fighting game, but then there's also some sort of card mechanic to what's happening, and since I don't speak the language, I don't really know how I'm supposed to move forward. I was just kind of hitting buttons. Up next is Dragon Ball Z 2 Gekushin Frieza, released by Bandai in 1991, and this one, I mean, it's got some kind of cool animations, but I think my cart was having some imagery issues. I don't think these are the images that are supposed to show in these areas. Kind of looks like it's just pulling random tiles from art files, but overall, similar gameplay. And here we have Dragon Ball Z 3 Ressen Jinzou Ningen, released by Bandai in 1992, and similar gameplay, but I do really like how it shows like the whole scene of Goku becoming Super Saiyan. I'm guessing this is a fight between Frieza and all of them at the end whenever he becomes Super Saiyan for the first time, and it was just kind of cool to see that kind of animation on a Famicom cart. Here we have Dragon Ball Z Kyoushuu Salyajin, released by Bandai in 1990, and this one was the only one that actually played a little differently, and it felt like it had more of an open feel to it, not necessarily like an open world game or anything like that, but it didn't feel like it relied so heavily on a card mechanic. Up next is Dragon Ball Great Demon King's Revival, released by Bandai in 1988, and this is another one of those card-based Dragon Ball kind of games. No clue what's going on. Wish I spoke or even read Japanese. If you know what it is, I mean, let me know down in the comments below. Up next is Dragon Ball Mystery of Shenron, released by Bandai in 1986, and this is another one where it was slightly different. You kind of got to go around fighter style. The graphics were a major step down in this game, but I actually like the gameplay way more in this one. It felt like a beat 'em up in an open world. Here we have Dragon Slayer 4 Drasle Family, released by Namco in 1987. Looks really cool. I've heard the Dragon Slayer games are fun. If you don't speak Japanese, I don't see how you could possibly play a game like this. But, I mean, yeah, it's Dragon Slayer. I guess that's cool. Up next is Family Mahjong, released by Namco in 1987. And at first, I thought this was going to be like an actual just Mahjong game, but it's like a learning game. It teaches you how to play Mahjong. Now, I don't know exactly what is being said on the screen, but I can only imagine it's describing what each of these tiles are and how to identify them. Up next is Frontline, released by Taito in 1985, and this game, it felt like any other kind of, vertically scrolling shooter. It's not a shmup or anything like that, but you just go around and you shoot the baddies, you can throw grenades. It's kind of funny how they processed how an arc with a grenade would be. It kind of squiggles on the screen, but overall, it really wasn't even that fun. Up next is Game Party, released by Coconuts Japan in 1990, and this is not a multi-game cart, but think a Famicom version of like a Wii party game. And you go through, you have a few different things. I chose the air hockey, and I gotta say, it actually plays pretty well for what it is, and it's kind of cool to see these kind of games on the Famicom. Up next is HAL's Hole-in-One Professional, released by HAL in 1988. And this is your typical kind of 8-bit series golf game, and I'm absolutely terrible at it. I couldn't really figure out what I was supposed to do. I could see that I could change, my different clubs and stuff like that, but I was just pressing buttons until something finally, moved the ball. Up next is Labyrinth Temple, released by Konami in 1987, and this game, I just could not get it to capture footage. It was giving me a ton of grief, and what's more, this game is incredibly hard to find any kind of information on. I don't know what it is just about this artwork. I don't know if this is some sort of knockoff cart or something like that, but this was very hard to find any kind of information on. Last up for this video is Matsumoto Kabukishi Gaku, released by Imagineer in 1988, and best I can tell is this is like a stock market simulator. I wasn't really sure. Like, numbers started appearing, and I could go talk to this dude at a counter, and it would give me some times and prices, and that was pretty much it. I don't really know what's going on in this game. And there you have it, everyone. That is everything that is currently in part 1 of my Famicom collection series. Now, if you liked today's video, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, please also hit those like and subscribe buttons, as well as that little notification bell so you get an alert every time I get a new video coming out. Now, as always, I'm GameDad. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later.